مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. O best of those whose front yard is sought by those seeking good on foot and on backs of camels treading vigorously, and you who are sign supreme for one who does seek to know, and greatest blessing for one in search of prosperity. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. From sanctum to sanctum you had made the trip overnight, just as the moon makes the trip through darkness nocturnally. You spent the night rising up until you had reached a place a length of 2 bows not gained or sought in all history. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. And all the prophets and messengers had put you ahead, just as the served over servants has the priority. As you proceeded through all the 7 levels with them in a procession, you were the banner bearer to see. مولاي صل وسلم أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. Until you had left no goal for the ambitious in hope of closeness, nor height for someone seeking ascendancy. You humbled all ranks by annexation. You were addressed like an annexed proper noun with singular dignity. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. So that you triumph with a connection, oh so concealed from eyes, and a secret, oh so shrouded in mystery. So you obtained every glory, no one else joining you, and you surpassed all alone, unchallenged every degree. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. The measure of stations you were granted, what majesty! Attaining the blessings you were given, what rarity! Great news for us, people of Islam, indeed. We possess a pillar of special care erected unbreakably. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. And since Allah called the one who called us to serving Him the greatest prophet, we are the greatest community. And you who are sign supreme for one who does seek to know, and greatest blessing for one in search of prosperity. Mawlaya salli wa sallim دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My Master, bless and salute always and forevermore your most beloved creations, greatest entirely. Ya Rabbi salli wa sallim daiman أبدا على الحبيب وأهل البيت كلهم. My keeper, bless and salute always and forevermore the most beloved and all the household entirely. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair for the beautiful recitation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase your blessings in every way, inshallah. I'd like to now invite Ustad Dr. Shalom Saab to come and do the presentation of the Muraqba Muhammadiyah, inshallah.
All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe, and may His infinite peace, mercy, blessings be upon Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in every breath, in every weight of every arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for eternity, and upon His beloved family, the Ahlul Bayt, His beloved companions, the Khulafa Rashidin, and all the companions, Tabi'in, Tabi Tabi'in, the Imam Mujtahideen, all the Mashayikh and Awliya of all the Turuk, and all the Mashayikh that who have taught us the way and the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Shaykh Sayyidina Abdul Aziz al-Dabbagh, Shaykh Sayyidina Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, Shaykh Sayyidi Ahmed Dabbagh, and many Awliya of the Shajar and Silsila, and all those who follow them in their footsteps to the way of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah Ta'ala bless all of them all to the Yawmul Qiyamah and bless the whole Ummah. Ameen. So the theme of this retreat is Muhammadan opening. Alhamdulillah, up to now we've had 3 sessions of the Miraj. And the Miraj session is a preparation to have that journey and the flight and the opening. Like mashallah, we've heard from few participants already that many have managed to go spiritually to an extent to the Rawda Mubarak in Masjid Nabawi in Medina Sharif, and able to present their salawat and salam upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some were even blessed to go near the blessed chamber and even inside it and give salam. Although really we did not really focus on that aspect or shown you the methodology and how this is done. So like with everything, excuse me. Like with everything, there's always a pinnacle or something that we work towards, or the main theme running. And now, alhamdulillah, amongst the other muraqabas and all the spiritual practices that we have been doing, This is one of the main ones, and everyone has an interest, a yearning, an attachment that they would like to have a personal spiritual experience, no matter what level it is at, of being in the presence or seeing or doing ziyarat of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But remember this, that it can be very difficult or can be very easy. So before I progress, what do I mean by this? Just quickly, someone can maybe just mention in words. Brother Siraj. Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If the person does what they are told to do, it will be very easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they start to
You just speak loudly, it's fine. The participants can hear anyway. That's fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so that is also correct what our brother Siraj has said, that if an instruction is given and it is followed, then that makes the whole life easier and the matter is easy. I'm actually alluding to something slightly something else as well. So who can maybe elucidate the points I'd like to express? Professor Mohammed? How can it be difficult or it could be easy as well?
Everything has a factor. I was expecting you to ask me, but in fact, anything in life it has certain conditions to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, conditions first, it becomes easy.
Mm-hmm. From the point of view, you correct, mashallah, thank you, jazakallah for that. The point of view where I'm coming from is that every aspect in our life could be very difficult and hard to do. Even eating and sleeping and going to work and waking up, even that aspect could be the most difficult thing in your life. Or even, for example, train yourself to become an expert in a field, do something which is normally seems as impossible, that couldn't be possible. So now do you see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that if we rely upon the ability and capability of our own self, and then we start to judge and analyze, yes, I can do this, no, I cannot do this, then it could be difficult because you're relying on yourself. What we're saying is in all the matters, whether we can do or not, or whether we think we know or not, we do not say that I can do this or I cannot do this. We say that we rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if Allah wills, and by His power, if He helps us and takes us, then every matter becomes easy. Then we're not worried about the action, whether it will be done or not, because we're relying upon Him to make it carry out the act. So that's why when we say in each adhkars, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, that we are not relying upon ourselves, upon our abilities or capabilities, or what we can do or not. We're simply saying that we are signing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We rely on Him, and we ask Him and we beg Him that He enable us to carry out this effort. And if the permission and the will of Allah is there and He helps, then this will happen. The reason why I'm saying this is important is because this aspect, many people, in the masjid here or outside world you meet, and everyone says that yes, the only thing they do, even a person, let's say he's not very practicing, he's got some attachment to deen, maybe they go to Jummah prayer, they do Eid Salah and so on and so forth, but they're not really too much keen on deen. But even if you say that, what would you think? How would you feel if He give you the prospect of you could do ziyarah and the meeting of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? They will jump to the idea, yes, although I'm not a very good believer, I'm a sinful person, but yeah, I wish to meet them. That is one of my goals as well. No one gonna deny that. No, I don't have interest. It's one of those things that as a believer, we believed in Him without seeing Him. So everyone has that wish. But the thing is, we have to learn to adopt the way and how this is done. And the whole purpose of this retreat and this gathering is to help you to go on the path to achieving this, inshallah, by the will and fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we rely on His fadl, on His grace, not on our efforts. If we rely on our efforts, then nothing might happen. And that's the crucial thing that we should remember. There are some adab, before I go into the actual processes. The adab is that usually, like we sat in the retreat, that we should really prepare beforehand. Imagine that we want to meet the King of all kings in a sense of prophethood. And even, for example, I'll give you an analogy. Let's say you've been given, let's say, OB or MB, some special recognition from the Queen because of the hard work you're doing. And they give you a date to come. What do people do to receive knighthood and so on? They go and buy the most expensive clothing, the suit and tie, the whole the outfit. And they make sure that the day is booked, they refresh themselves, they groom themselves, that they look the nice and most prettiest, they wear nice clothes, they arrange the transport so that they're in time, they arrive early, they don't miss anything. They also go through the protocol of how to visit the Queen, the certain protocol, what to say, how to respond, how to bow down, or what things are not appropriate as well. So you go and meet the council, they go explain to you all this. And then on the day comes, you are asked to sit in a certain row, have certain thinking, and then you get that chance. And people are honored. It's like, wow, amazing. I finally met the Queen or Prince Charles or whoever it is. And it becomes a most wonderful day for him, or maybe for them a life experience. So likewise, in this session and this as well, before the actual session begins, there's also some adabs and so on. So one of them I would like to mention that inshallah, time permitting and how things pan out, inshallah, hopefully by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're going to have one of those sessions, inshallah, tonight. Most likely it'll be after Isha or later on, whenever it is. But it's good to get our mindset prepared now. And the first thing is that we need to know who the being is. Alhamdulillah, as a Muslim, we know Prophet Muhammad is our Prophet, our Nabi. But whenever you actually get introduced to something, you do your own little research, find out about that person, or refresh it. For example, you want to go to London, maybe you've visited London so many times in your life. But before the trip, you can still go on Google Map, plan out exactly what it is, how to get there, which road is familiar, where is the parking space. All this you plan. Although I could say you've been to London many times before, why are you looking at it again? It's just a mental mindset that you prepare yourself, that everything goes according to plan. So for this, inshallah, what we advise you, inshallah, we have books and everything else amongst yourself. Think about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his blessed features, how he looked, his blessed eyebrows, his face, and so on. The Shama'il, the Huliya Sharif. That's one thing you could do. You can discuss among brothers when you're eating. So when we're eating and discussing, maybe just talking about many things, make a habit like at least tonight, that discuss amongst yourself. Please tell me one sunnah, one attribute of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is all gearing up for that process. And also, we advise that at least 1 hour before the session takes place, or at least a number of time before the session takes place, that you recite salawat and durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your own time, inshallah. You can recite any salawat and durood, but one specifically, those who know and remember, it's not necessary to read that, but those who know, specifically given by Shaykh Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Abdul Bagh, which is Allahumma ya Rabbi bijahi Sayyidina Muhammad ibn Abdullahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ijma' bayni wa bayna Sayyidina Muhammad ibn Abdullahi fi dunya qabla al-akhirah. It's a specific dua. It's a blessed dua and a salawat durood sharif gifted to Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Abdul Bagh before his great Fatan opening by Sayyidina Ahmed Khidr. And the story goes, he met one day and he used to recite this many thousands of recitation per day as well. So a very, very blessed dua, inshallah. Those who know, that's fine, you can recite that. If not, you can recite any salawat, any durood sharif. And remember, the point of reciting is not just merely just to recite because I've said so, or because you think it's a good thing to do, is at least each time you recite the verse or verses, that have that mind in your mind refresh it each time you mention the name, for example, Muhammad in the Durood Sharif sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine whatever it is, be it a green dome, I'll go through some of the stages, any of this aspect you can think about. Either the blessed future, where you read from the Hadith book, or the green dome, or the name Muhammad as well. Anything like this, try to refresh it each time you recite. So for at least 1 hour beforehand, inshallah, you can do this. And you can do it also throughout day as well and night, inshallah. So this is like your, you could say, pre-preparation before the actual session that takes place. For this, inshallah, I can obviously speak to our ustad and so on and discuss, inshallah, if he helps you as well to get that mindset, that and a moldy mind in this sense. Although in this presentation we shall not go through, but it also helps sometimes if you do the Lataif Amal, even in a shorter version, not like half an hour, 1 hour, even for 10 minutes, just to get purified your organs and so on. And maybe, inshallah, before we do this practice itself, maybe we'll practice the Lataif as well, just to get ourselves ready and the spirit is transferring and so on. But not to focus too much about it as well, about this. Also, before this starts, anytime until then, do 2 rakat Salatul Tawbah, seek forgiveness. Think about that he being our Prophet and our Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the final messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that did you also know that he also has rights upon us as a ummati? Have you ever pondered upon or thought about what rights he has, and am I fulfilling it? There are many rights, of course. At least you can categorize into 5 rights of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is upon every single one of us. For some, it's a refresher and a reminder, and for some, it's a fresh news for the first time. In the Qadiyah written in Ashifa is mentioned very in detail those 5 points and many other aspects as well. So maybe, inshallah, you can also ask each other, our learned scholars here as well, ustads, you can ask them, go through. And then once you realize those 5 things, maybe you realize that maybe 4 out of 5 I am not doing, or I've never even, I never knew about them, or never acted upon them. So then this means that you can seek forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that I have not really, kept up with your, what's demand from what's the duty from you to do, and please forgive me. Because imagine that we want to do the ziyarah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Analogy can be given just to make us understand. We want to go, let's say it's been years and years, we live in the UK and our beloved parents live in another country. And now we want to go and see them. And we are getting excited, time is looming, there's only a day left, we're going to fly and go there. But then someone tells you, by the way, remember when you came to this country years and years ago, and they asked you to do certain things, and it was really, really was a request directly from them. Did you fulfill that, by the way? I said, oh, I forgot, yeah, they did tell me. I never even thought about it since then. I said, okay, good. So then how will they feel when you go back and you see them after so many years, or for the first time maybe after, you've never as though seen them before? And if they ask about this, what would you say? So rather, we want to do things which is in our control. This aspect of seeing, spiritually especially, the one aspect we say, thought and imagination, and third aspect spiritually, is not in our control. But let's focus on the aspect which are in our control. Are we fulfilling it? If not, then the starting point would be with 2 rakat Salatul Tawbah, with our depth of our heart, Tawbatul Nasu, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness, and also of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah ta'ala forgive us that we've not fulfilled his rights as well. So that's the starting point spiritually. And be in the mold at least that we are so sinful that not only we've not kept up with their words and teachings, we've never even fulfilled the basics. You could say in that sense like a faraid. No faraid sense of salah and som and fasting and hajj, in the sense of that the basic duties which is assigned to us. That's something we should think about first. Then the blessing comes one upon another. But despite all that, our Nabi and Rasul and our Shaykh are very compassionate and caring, and extremely compassionate and caring. that despite our shortcomings, they still want to bless us and still want to be, they wish that we go in their company and spend time with them. But it is our own self, we are the blockage. So there's no shortcomings from the side, from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the favors and blessing from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or the mashayikh and the teachers. If anything that's not happening, straight away know as a criteria, as a gauge, that the shortcoming is from me. There's something not there that we need to address and redress and rectify, inshallah. So these are some of the basic or simple adab I'd like to highlight, inshallah. So if you look at the screen now, so what happens here is when we start the process of Muraqba Muhammadiyah, we'll be reciting salawat and durood and salam. And then either through transfer with lataif and so on, we'll imagine, everyone imagines. Now I'm going to use the word imagine. It's a positive thing. So I don't want you to send a feedback, I think I imagined. I am saying you should imagine. Okay? So he said, I'm giving you this task now, you're going to imagine. So if you send the feedback, I think I imagine. I said, well, I told you that already, to imagine. So yeah, so you're going to imagine after transfer, you've arrived in this blessed courtyard, as you can see, in the marble stoning. This is the green dome, can you see in front of you in the picture. Behind you, behind that dark image, is the Jannatul Baqi, the blessed cemetery behind. And that door, you can see, this door is Babul Baqi. This is the door as you leave, when you leave the blessed chambers, as you give salam, if you physically visited there before. I'll show you the images as well. So after the transfer, we'll be reciting Durood Sharif and then salawat and salam of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a collective gathering. Maybe to help us, they might play a nasheed and naat in the background. That's purely just for that, so that we can focus and concentrate. It's not that we start singing along and humming along. No, that's just the audio visual. This is a visual aid. This is an audio aid that helps you to continue, inshallah. So then, as we be going through as well, very importantly, that you see that you sat outside the courtyard of Masjid Nabawi. You are there, and your teacher is there. Remember the key ingredient. The teacher is important. Without that crucial ingredient and the link, then all this process will just fade away and will fall apart. So you'll be imagining, again I say, you'll be imagining that with your teacher you're outside in Masjid Nabawi and reciting salat and salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. At that moment, well, we strongly would suggest that you just drop everything, any other notions, thoughts, even to the point we would ask you when we do this session that you remain still. Be in a comfortable position. If you have to sit on a chair on the floor, whichever position you like, be still. Because now we want to go such that we don't want to feel our own self, our own issues, our thoughts, which is going to completely, like someone jumps in the sea and in the river, for example, for swimming. They don't think about, well, what if I'm going to drown or whatever else. No, he doesn't worry about that. He's skilled enough to know that I'm not going to drown. So he submerge, goes right into it. And this is, inshallah, how you should be thinking in that process. So then after that, what happens is continue to recite salawat and durood and salam with the teacher. And then teacher will then, at one point, this will be your own personal experience now. At one point, teacher will get up and hold your hand, and you will slowly start walking towards this door. Normally people, in normal sense of it, when you visit, people come out of that door, but you'll be entering through that door. So this door is, it should be said actually, Babu Salam, but yeah, ignore the name for now. We'll be entering through a door, inshallah. And continuously saying salawat and salam and feel the presence at that time, at that moment. Then next one is you'll be going right inside the Rawda Mubarak, right in front of it. So many people, I believe, gone to Umrah or Hajj, or you see on the internet, on the Facebook, like our teacher have been last week from Medina Sharif, came back from the Blessed Journey. And many people, they just traverse. Can you see my cursor? They just walk past like that here. And the guard usually stands there and he says, Yalla, yalla, carry on walking. He doesn't allow you to stand there normally. So in this case, spiritually, there's no guard, no one's going to be there to usher you. You can stand there as long as you like. So that's another benefit doing this spiritually. As long as you like, you can just stand there. And then you start reciting like it says in Arabic here. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum ayyuhan nabi. Assalamu alaikum ayyuhan nabi. So carry on reciting that. This will be your heartfelt. It's as though you're there now. Like I said many times, physically it's not possible because of the restrictions and so on and so forth. But there's no restrictions. So you let your heart open and let it flow. And it goes, submerges into it. And you feel the light is emanating from there. And it's hitting your face and your chest. But the Irfan just came back. I'm sure he remembers this. But Irfan? Yes? He just came back last week, right? Yeah. You remember the scene? It should be quite strong to you because you just come back last week. MashaAllah. And so you continuously decide sending salam upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then after that, you will see an opening. This blessed door will be opened, wide open, like you see in the image. And the intense light will be coming out from there, hitting all your body, you and the teacher with you, your face, your heart. You feel so much love and mercy is emanating out of it and hitting you. It's as though this is really once in a lifetime opportunity. That how many times, even physically, that people always look through this hole here, trying to see what's inside. It's a human curiosity. I want to know because we claim to love and follow them, so we want to see what's happening behind. But this time, these doors will be flung open for us, and the light will be gushing out from there. And we continuously just carry on reciting the salam upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then, inshallah, we'll be blessed then to enter inside. Now, the thing is, inside this blessed Rawda, there's actually another blessed dome inside of it. So, if I just quite quickly go back, all this, see, this is like your outer covering of the Rawda. As soon as you go inside those golden gates, and if I show you the bird's eye view, let's say you're standing there and you enter through this, and there's another one there, which is white. So in the Uthmanid Ottoman Empire, this was there. Then they put this green one all around afterwards. So there's a dome within the dome. Okay, this is a bird's eye view. So you can see the green dome there on top. And if you imagine, we've removed the green dome to one side. Now we can see the actual barrier inside the blessed green, the golden gate, and then there's another white, smaller size dome and the structure of Mazar there. So you can see there's the green dome there. Gate will be around here, there. Yeah? So it's not in the picture even. So you normally walk past this way and you just carry deep, and there's the wall of the masjid. So you go inside of it now, inshallah. So just to show you another angle. So this is inside again. There's the covering, and there's the white, blessed white dome inside. So inside the green dome, there's actually another white dome behind the golden gates. So after entering through the golden gate, you will see the white dome with covering of actual sacred hujarat. So this is the actual place inside of this is where the blessed house of Sayyidina Aisha Siddiqa was, and the hujurat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when this is removed, it's actually inside of that blessed white dome. So let's just remove that covering, and there's the actual space and the hujurat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's how it is. And so we'll be traversing through these layers, inshallah. So slowly, inshallah, by the fadl and grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll be called upon, we'll go enter inside of it. So getting more exciting now. Imagine that. We never had access up to this so far, and now we've reached here. Now we're going further inside. As soon as you go inside of it, there's a spiral staircase inside the blessed white dome that goes inside further down. So the blessed grave itself is not even there. It's actually, you go down the spiral staircase. Okay? And as you go down the spiral staircase, and then you start to see the most beloved place in the whole universe, the body, the blessed body where is rested on the ground, the blessed grave of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At that moment, with the teacher, you can see the light is descending, showering upon the blessed grave, with intense light covering the whole aspect of it. And you are also reciting salawat and durood. At that point, you should really let yourself go. If you do feel emotional, you're allowed to do so. As though, like I said, you're there spiritually feeling the closeness and the presence, like our Sidi Ansar said earlier, they feels the presence. But this is a higher level of presence now you will feel, because you're so close, the close proximity to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Are you all okay so far? Easy to follow? MashaAllah. Then after that, you'll be reciting again. Now, imagine now you are actually there. Finally, you've reached. You can slowly start to see the name Muhammad appearing from that blessed light. And from the blessed light that's descending upon the grave, the light is emanating, hitting yourself. And also, you're reciting salawat and durood, and the light is emanating from you and joining that light as well. So it's like a three-way process, continuously encircling. Light is coming down from the blessed grave, hitting you and hitting yourself, and then going back. As you recite salam, the light goes back. So this light going back means as though this is your salam, your presentation is going to the blessed being of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then next to the grave, there's two more here. It's not shown in the picture. One of them starts from there, for example, and goes like this further. That's the grave of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq. And then further on this side, further down, where the feet Mubarak of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, that's where the grave of Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab begins. His head space starts from there. You can also give salam to them as well as the companions of the grave and in the hereafter. So there, at that moment, you continuously give salam. You see the light is getting stronger and stronger, an immense light. And then those who can, like one brother, our brother Dilawar said that if you can see the outer figure, then you can do so. But at least at that point, you just see the intense light from there is going there and it's coming back and touching your heart. And you feel, I'm so close, I'm so honored, although I'm not deserving, I am a sinful person. At least you can see the name Muhammad. And then if Allah Ta'ala blesses you, then maybe you can see the outer, like I said, figure of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam rising from the blessed grave, approaching you with open arms. Maybe you get to do the ziyarat of the blessed turban, the blessed shawl, chadar around them, the clothing of whatever color they're wearing. For some, they will finally get to see the blessed face of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the long arched eyebrows, beautiful big eyes, long beautiful pointed nose, beautiful big lips, full of beard in the black and maybe with some strands of white in their face, and so on and so forth. And maybe for some, you'll also hear the response from the salam or any guidance in this as well. So the point is that you have to, when this happens, and one of the instructors who's going through, he will not go every single details of it. He will mention aspects of it and leave aspects silent so that you have your own personalized experience. Like our Ustad Sidi Ansar was saying, that sometimes he has his own experience and feel as though he's dragged into some other experience of another person or other guide. So in this case, we'll give you the opportunity. It's like when we go and give salam, we don't just stand in the corner and say, brother, okay, you give salam on our behalf. Let him do the talk. No, we all, each one by one, we go in front and give salam and show our heartfelt emotions and thoughts and share with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Likewise, in this Muraqba, when we do, we will just signpost, give you some indications what's happening, maybe a few advice here and there, but there'll be silences in between where this time will be given for you, for your personal meeting and mulaqat with the help of teacher next to you, beside you, just to help you along, inshallah. Okay, any questions so far? Yes?
The picture shown there, is it the actual picture?
It is a very similar attribute to the actual picture. Actual picture itself is very seldom you'll find, but this is very much, very similar to it, if not the actual picture. So it's very similar to it, as though it is. For our purpose, it is for the case of this practice, inshallah. And yes, brother, he's working on the handout. I hope, inshallah, he will. If not, then later on he can do. So the handout would be something very similar to this summarized version. Can you see on the screen? A4 size. This little printed way just explains the 7 steps, like I just mentioned. The imagine outside in the Blessed Masjid Nabawi. Then you start with the teacher. Then teachers obviously then they rise up and they hold your hand and take you inside of the blessed Roda, and you go inside in front of the Roda as well, and then give salam, and then suddenly the door both door opens up, and the huge light pillar of light emanates from it. There's few missing there. Then obviously there's a white dome as well. You go inside the white dome, and then you see those spiral staircases that are going down, and then eventually you reach the actual blessed grave there, and then you continue to give salam and have your personal experience from there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. I hope Allah Ta'ala blesses with the blessed vision of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tonight, and to all of us. Just it's like a query that are we allowed to imagine the blessed face of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Like I said, it's in the Huliya Mubarak and Shamayil. You're a learned person, you've read yourself. And whenever you read that, what would you do? You normally imagine when it says in the book, for example, beautiful face, very long, wide eyebrows. So this is a natural human experience. Then when you read a description or something, there's another book done by, I believe it's Abdul Rahman Jami, that's written the portrait of human perfection. There's a small book in English translated. And there it goes in detail from the hadith. One of the companions said that it was a moonlit night, and he saw a moon, and he saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he couldn't tell the difference which is brighter. He thought Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's face was more brighter than the moon. The full moon was there, and he goes to even detail, even the blessed body as well, the hairline from the chest. He had a single hairline going down to the navel, and how the calves were, what shape of the calves, the feet. It was slightly raised bone in the middle and so on. So it goes very detailed. You can read those in Shamayil, and the blessed face, and then what they wore, and how they walked, how they talked, and so on. So these are all, like I say, like an aid for you, for that journey to begin. Like I said, all this is like a paint drop effect. If you're on the paper, if you put different paint drops everywhere, after a while what happens? They all start to come in, if you ever noticed, and merge, and it becomes one big blob. So here all this is happening, what we're explaining, they're like we implanting like a seed inside you. That one day, inshallah, they can all come and merge, and you see the result and the fruits, inshallah. And like our teacher said, that he has given us a target of Monday night, Tuesday anyway, inshallah. But this is a khususi, very specific practice we do, where everyone who has a yearning and a wish to meet our beloved, the most beloved and the highest rank in creation, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But one thing again, if I just quickly go back to the beginning, important thing is that although with the guidance of the teacher and in the gathering we'll be going through, but his very important step is this first step, what it says, with your teacher. So that in itself, you have to make that journey to meet your teacher there or in the masjid here and so on. Because like I said, they are like the key. The door of the Masjid Nawawi and the Green Dome, there's the door, for example. But we have no access to it. It's locked. We've tried many years upon years, to go and open the door. We've knocked, but the door is still locked. There's no greater access than this. And now I'm saying is, suddenly someone tells you, I've got the access and I've got the key. And you say, yes, please, brother, give me the key or open the door for me. And I am saying this key is the teacher to open this door to the mercy of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the closeness. So how valuable then that key becomes. You'll put it in your top pocket here. You'll always have your hand like this because it doesn't fall out somewhere as you're walking in the masjid, just in case something happens to it. You'll polish it, put it in like a nice wrapping paper or something, or a clothing, or a velvet clothing as well, because that key becomes most important. That years and years and years you've tried to enter through the door and the door was shut. And suddenly you have found that key to open that door. And this is how one should view. Like I said earlier, these teachers are really selfless people. They don't want anything in return, like what Ustad Usman was saying. They don't want your money, they don't want your favors, they don't even want you to say thank you. Let me put it this way, don't even say thank you. Just make dua for them out of your own goodness. Even if you don't remember them after you reach your state, that's fine. They rather you reach your destination and they just move out the way and you just carry on with your journey. That's how selfless they are. Whereas in every other relationships that we have, be it with our friends, even with our brothers and sisters, our spouses, even our parents, there's always some kind of incentive. There is an expectation that either I have to give it to them or they'll give it to me. Without that, then it breaks down. The marriages break down. Why does it break down? Husband and wife are the most closest relationship in a human experience. Physically, emotionally, and all the other way. They have a family and children as a result of it. But why does that break down? Either A, the man does not fulfill certain rights and certain things which is her demand, or she does not fulfill his demand. So there's incentive there. When that's missing, that's it, goodbye, done. Every other relation we analyze, even parents to an extent, that if you don't look after them when they're aged or you misbehave, that's they say goodbye, I don't want to know you. You know, they'll basically ostracize you from the community, from the house. Every other business partnership relationship, best friend relationship. Why are you best friend to that person? It's because you're getting something in return, you're getting good time or a company or helps you out in need. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is need-free, is independent. He doesn't want our worship or nothing from us. He just wants to bless us. Likewise, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he's also independent. He was already blessed. Look, we recite Durood Sharif and Salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But does that make any difference in them? Because in the Quran, Allah is saying He's sending Durood and Salam upon him. Then why doesn't He our Salam for Durood? So in reality, we sending Salam upon them, and in return we are benefiting. Our status is raised. 10 sins are being forgiven. 10 reward is given to us each time we recite Salawat. So we really benefit. Likewise, as the teachers and the mashayikh, and they are just a representative of this being Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they're also of the similar nature, where they're want free, they're basically completely, free of all needs from you. They just want to help you and bless you. Once this is reached, then you carry on with your journey. If you do give them thanks, give them anything in return, then it's out of your own goodwill. There's no requirement from their perspective. So then this relation becomes also very pure and holy, I would say. Because they're now introducing, remember at the Itikaf they mentioned about different birds. Who remembers that? It's been almost 1 year now. Good to refresh these things. But Zafar, do you remember the different birds you have in life? One is in the spiritual world, one in this world, one intellectually. So one is, in this world, our parents are most, their status is the highest. Why? Because they were the means to bring us on this face of this earth. They gave us birth in this world. But who is the being who's giving you birth in the spiritual world, which is eternity and lifelong? I'm spiritual, meaning I'm including the Jannah as well, for example. That's your teacher who introduces you and you get to know. So shouldn't they have the similar, or at least the same level of respect or honor as your parents, if not greater? That's something to think about as well, inshallah. So inshallah, finally I conclude. It was quite brief, but yet powerful in my opinion. Again, I repeat that from now on, recite salawat and durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the adab. One of them is being that each time you recite, think about the blessed being of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family and so on. Do seek salatul tawbah and haja as well to bless us. Don't rely on our own deeds and effort. Rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Him to help us. If He opens up, then nothing can stop it. And if He does not decide to bless us and stop us, then nothing can bless us. Nothing can help us in this regards. Find out what are the rights of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam upon us, and try to seek forgiveness from that if there's any shortcoming in this, and also of the teacher by that token, I would say, and then be in the mindset. So whenever this session takes place, then you are ready to take that flight. And again, at that time afterwards, I don't want to hear I imagined or so on, because like our Honorable Maulana Mustafa was saying, even if someone sits there and he describes the blessed feature of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam now, from the memory, what would you say normally? Subhanallah, mashallah, beautiful. Thank you for the reminder. Even that act in itself is a blessing. Now, if you're able to imagine or even have a spiritual experience, how wonderful is that? So the whole notion should be eliminated now. Just let yourself flow into it, inshallah. That's the key thing, inshallah, in this regards. Jazakallah for your time and listening to me. If I've said anything wrong, it's only from me, obviously, and all the goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any quick questions or anything before we finish for break up for Asr Salah? Just put your hand up if you want me to clarify anything, you did not understand the way I've expressed it or why I've said things. If you want me to go through the imagery as well. Inshallah, that's a homework for you, because obviously I will start giving you all this knowledge, and oh yeah, there you go, another set of knowledge you have to learn. Sometimes in the classroom is also they tell you you find out now. You should know this already by now, but if you don't know, find out, and we'll consolidate it later on. So ask the ustad now, because when you do something to earn it, you remember it better as well. When it's given to you on a plate, okay, just another piece of information, okay, that's fine. So find out, ask our Ustad Hafiz Sajjad is here, Maulana Mustafa is here, or the Ustad Asad is here, you can ask them inshallah as well. Okay? Any other questions?
One thing that comes into my mind is, you said the teacher needs to be there. So let's, for example, I take all these into my home and I try all these by myself. And then obviously we've got the teacher now in here. Mm-hmm. We know that he's obviously looking at us, he's trying to put us into that journey. Yeah. But when we try to do it at home, is the teacher going to be there as well?
No, well, this is up to you. Like I said, you're imagining it. You can imagine teachers with you there. Okay, so making it easy for you. So you don't have to think again into this entanglement. Oh, how can teacher be here? I'm saying you're imagining it. Whether it happened reality or not, that's a different matter. Maybe Allah Ta'ala can bless certain people and this could happen and this does happen. But for you, as far as you're concerned, you're imagining this is happening. Because you're relying on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one else. And Allah can make it happen in anything if He wishes so, inshallah. Okay? Yeah, inshallah, we're going to finish now for Adhan. Thank you, inshallah. And then next, I think after Asr is break, is it? Inshallah, we'll let you know after Asr what the plan is. But this session will maybe happen after Isha or at Tahajjud time. We'll let you know, inshallah, any other time. But the preparation starts now, inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.